So you're tired of looking at your dirty carpet, so you pulled your carpet out thinking that you could go ahead and paint the stairs. But if you're like me, you found out how bad the stairs are. Cracks, knots, nail holes, and worst of all, big gaps. Now what are you going to do? You would like to replace it with some oak hardwood, but that costs an arm and a leg. Let me show you this Ikea hack that'll make your stairs look like this. Like I was saying, I was tired of looking at my carpet, so I ripped it out thinking that I could paint it. But lo and behold, the stairs were pretty bad. I needed to do something. My first thought was to replace it with some oak treads. But if you price these out like I have, they're very expensive. Anywhere from $90 to $125 a tread. I have 12 treads, so it adds up. So I was looking around to see if I can go into any lumber yards where I can find some wide oak boards. And even then, those were pretty expensive. So I happened to walk in an Ikea one day and saw their oak countertops. And that's when I had the idea that I could cut these countertops into stair treads. They're pretty thick. I can get 4 treads per blank, so I would need 3 blanks. So this video is showing you a quick overview of what I did. Watch the end of the video and you'll see in detail what I did. Okay, what I did is I bought 3 blanks, set up some sawhorses with a piece of plywood, and started cutting my pieces out, as you can see here. I just used a regular old skill saw, and I got this really cool clamp guide to help guide the saw. Now I'm cutting the width or the depth of the tread because I already know the size, but the width of the tread, each one is going to have to be custom fit, so I'm just rough cutting these. Now that I got my rough cut length cut, now I'm going to cut the depth. I know what that number is, and my number is 11 3/4. I'm going to get 2 pieces out of this blank. Now that I have all my 12 blanks cut, now I'm going to go to my chop saw. I already know the length that I need to cut. Like I said, each one is different. So when you cut these treads, you're going to have to number each one. Make sure when you write it, it's legible. Each one is going to be different on each end. Each end has a different angle. And of course, the front of the length of the tread is going to be different from the back of the length because the walls vary. Once you have all your treads cut and fitted to where it's nice and tight against the wall, okay, with the pencil you're going to mark the bottoms of the tread where the stringer connects to the tread. You're going to want to mark the sides and the front edge. You'll see why in a minute why we do this. As you can see where the pencil marks were at on the stringer, we put tape. You'll see here in a minute why we did that. I got a couple of sawhorses up. I'm using some EMT so I can set my treads after they get stained. They have somewhere to sit so they can dry. The first thing I'm going to do is stain the front edge, the bottom edge of the tread. You can see I only go back about 2 inches, and the ends of the tread. I have the tread upside down right now. Next, I'm going to apply some linseed oil. I want to hermetically seal the tread so no air and moisture escape. What this does is prevent the tread from cracking in time. Once I have the linseed oil on the bottom, that's why we have the tape. We don't want to get linseed oil where the stringer connects to the tread. We're going to apply some construction adhesive there. So we don't want any oil in that area. I'm also going to put linseed oil on the back edge of the tread. Once that's done, I'm going to flip it over and stain the top. Give it a nice, good, even coat. I'm not using a brush. I get better results with a rag and more control. The color of stain I'm using is called Espresso. I can tell already I'm going to need another coat, but before I put my second coat on, I'm going to let it dry overnight. When working with the linseed oil, try not to touch the areas that you're going to stain, otherwise you're going to have clear blotches. It'll prevent the stain from penetrating. You can see behind me I've got a few of them done already, kind of sitting on the EMT. When applying the stain, make sure you use long strokes. And please go with the grain, it looks a lot better. Don't use circular motions, don't use zigzag motions, just long strokes. It'll get your color on evenly. If you see any light areas, just go ahead and put a little more stain on it. Try to get an even color throughout all your treads. Step back and look and make sure everything looks even in color. Okay, I put one coat of stain, I let it dry for a day, put another coat of stain, and got it to where I was happy with the color. Then I let it dry another day. Now I'm applying some lacquer. It's a spar lacquer, it's a clear semi-gloss. I'm going to apply one nice heavy coat and let it dry for a day until it hardens. If it's not hardened, you're going to probably have to wait another day. Once it's dry, sand and apply another coat of lacquer. If you're happy with that coat, you can go ahead and install it. If not, apply another coat of lacquer and let it dry for a day. Okay, now that we let the lacquer dry for a day, our first coat, we're now ready to sand. What I'm going to use is some 220, and I'm going to lightly sand it, making sure that I'm sanding off any pits, nicks, or any imperfections, just so I can get it somewhat flat. Once we're done sanding, we're going to apply our second coat. Once you're done with your lacquer and let it dry for a day and it looks great, now it's time to install the treads. What you need to do first is to remove the blue tape that you put on. Then go ahead and apply your construction adhesive. What you want to do is work from the bottom up. We're going to put our first tread in, so we're looking for our number 1 tread. Remember I said to number them so they're legible? This is where that comes in. It'll help you find the exact tread that you custom cut for each step. Once you set the tread in, you have a choice of nailing it, screwing it, stapling it. It's up to you. Once you've attached it to the stringer, put a kick plate on. I've already cut mine and painted mine. I painted mine a gloss white. Go ahead and glue and staple that in. And then apply your second tread and continue on until you're done. Wow, didn't it turn out nice? I think so. There's still stuff to do. I still need some puttying. I still need to put on some molding. But all in all, it's looking great. And the surprising thing, it really didn't cost that much. And the tools that I used were pretty basic. They weren't sophisticated tools. A chop saw, a skill saw, some hammers, some nails, some screws. It was pretty easy. I gotta tell you, it looks way better than the way it was. Anyway, like I said, this was just kind of an overall video of what I did. If you want a more detailed video, look on the description below and there'll be a link to where I show you exactly what I did and how to do this project. After I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and stain the handrail and the newel posts the same color. I think it'll look great. What do you think? Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and of course hit the bell. Until then, we'll see you at my next video. Bye!